Okay, today is the day that I have been waiting for pretty much all year, and that is not totally hyperbole. I really have. I went to CES like the first or second week of January this year, and I did have the opportunity to go to the Lenovo event and see the Legion Go S and the Legion Go 2, which were both devices I was really excited for because I really love the big screen devices. In fact, I've still got a Legion Go 1 right here, and we'll take a look at some comparisons later. But today is the day, the launch in North America of the Legion Go 2. I'm not sponsored by Lenovo. They didn't send me anything. I paid for all of the Legion Go's that I have. My bank account is crying, but totally unbiased opinions. I just went to Best Buy, picked it up just like every other normal person, and I've got it right here. Let's open it up and take a look at it. Okay, this box is almost as big as Donald Trump's ego, but not quite. Still, it's a big boy, so let's bust into it and take a look. I'm doing this live with you guys. I have not seen the device, not turned it on, literally just got home. I have to zoom out my camera just to fit this big boy in here. Okay. There it is. What do we got on the right here? I think we got our charger, so I'm assuming this is just your standard 65 watt USB PD charger. Let's take a closer look. Yep. Get that in focus. 65 watts. Okay. Let's pick this up. And ooh, look at that. We do get a case. That's nice to see. So let's go ahead and put this box to the sides for now. I don't think there's anything else in here. They don't give us a stand or anything like that. But hey, it's got a kickstand. I guess you don't need a stand, so there's that. So yeah, so here we go. I'm excited. Let's pull this open. The storage case, like on first appearance, is pretty nice fabric. I briefly owned this one for the Legion Go S, and I will say that, you know, it doesn't offer any protection from pressing the joysticks, and I can kind of make those pop right now as it is. So not the best case, but at least you do get a case. I don't think the Xbox Ally X gets a case. This is not a Ally versus Legion Go 2 battle video, but just saying, just saying. Okay, let's open it up. Maybe a satisfying zip sound. Ugh, it's crinkly. There's plastic in there. Maybe I should start a second ASMR channel. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. A little diminished by the plastic. Got a piece of foam in there. The case, yeah, it's not bad. It's, you know, got some texture on it. It does have a little bit of padding here. There's something in here. Ah, the mouse base plate. We'll put that to the side. And what else they have in here? What is this? Oh, there's like it's for the mouse half of the controller. We'll look at this in a minute, but it's the little rubber thing to cover the rail. I don't think the Legion Go 1 had that, so that's kind of cool. We'll look at that later though. And I think that's it for the pouches down here. There's some kind of stitched areas that are supposed to relieve the controls, but I don't think the padding's quite thick enough. Still, case works in a pinch. And I think here, let's even look. I've got a Legion Go S here. It's essentially the same case. Fits that as well. And what the heck, let's see, is the Legion Go 1 fit in this case? It does kind of, but not really. I think the Legion Go 1 is actually slightly wider because of how angular it is. So let's get rid of that for now. Oh, yes. You know, I held the prototype at CES, but not final plastics, you know, different device. So this is something new here. It's got a nice soft, this is like a silky smooth kind of texture here. It does feel nice. It is nicer than the hard plastic on the Legion Go 2. These buttons have a slight grippiness to them, a bit of a pattern. The plastic's a little harder, a little less soft touch on the back, but it's got this kind of I don't know, embossed or engraved pattern. So we'll see how that all feels in the hand in just a second here. But yeah, flipping it back over, it feels pretty nice. Bumpers aren't too loud, triggers are nicely curved, buttons feel nice, D-pad is okay, sticks are fine. Who knows about the trackpad? Buttons, yes, this is nice. You know what, before I go too far and get this all mucked up, I'm gonna try to put a screen protector on. Since I'm doing it live on camera, it's probably not gonna work, but well, let's try it out. On the recommendation of a friend, I picked up the AM film screen protectors. I'm told that these work pretty well. They are sized for the Legion Go 2, so let's try them out. If these do end up working, I will include a link down in the description so that you can pick these up on Amazon if you're in the US, but you can probably search for this elsewhere in the world too. They do give you 2, which is good because I almost always mess up the first time. Truth. Slightly off. No. Okay, so jury says the AM film screen protectors work well. I just am terrible at applying them, so I've got a little bit of a something there. It doesn't even show up on camera really, so oh, there you can see it. Ugh. All right, that one's a failure. Let's try it again. Oh, it's ever so slightly lopsided, but it's better than last time. Okay, again, so AM film, link in the description if you want to buy those. All right, let's just do a quick tour here and work our way around the device. Power button is huge. I think there might be a fingerprint sensor. Got left speaker, exhaust, USB port, right speaker, volume. Of course, we've got our bumpers and our triggers. While we're here, I guess there's some issue where if you held the bumper down at the same time as the trigger, you could get it to stick. I'm not initially having this issue, but I don't know if that's been fixed or I'm just not doing it right, but I can't get the bumpers to stick like some people said they did. Okay, so that's the top. The bottom here, we've got headphone, micro SD, and another USB port. Love to see it. And you've got the switch to turn your mouse sensor on and off for the FPS mode. And then on the left, you don't really have anything, but on the right, we have our M1 and 2 buttons, which I don't think usually in handheld mode. That's more of a mouse mode type thing for when you're gripping it. And then let's look at the back. We've got our M3 and Y3, which are macro buttons that you might use while playing games in handheld, and our Y1 and Y2. So you do get 4 macro buttons when you're using it in handheld mode. And then we've got a scroll wheel, clicks in for a middle click as well there. And then our little detachment things for the joysticks, and of course the kickstand is pretty good. It's very flat and wide. It's a little shorter but farther down, but it's not any like cheaper feeling or anything like that. And again, the texture on here is much nicer than on the Legion Go 1. And then we can see our fan in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for a tour of the device. If we want to take the controllers on and off, we just press this button in, slide down. Feels very light. Let's just go ahead and showcase this real quick. We'll put it in our little puck. And we've got our little cover thing here. Let's see, does it go this way? Okay, so there's that cover so that you don't touch that. And then you've got your mouse mode. You've got your 2 buttons here that you could click while you're gripping it. Move it around. You can pop the joystick cap off, I believe, when you're not doing that, so that it's not in the way. And it's pretty flush actually when you do that. So yeah, that's the mouse mode. It's not something I really use much on the Legion Go 1, but it is there, and it's cool to see that they kept that. So, you know, kudos to them for that. And since we've got it here, this is a quick comparison. The Legion Go 1 versus Legion Go 2 controller. You can see obviously we've got that smoother finish and then that curve, which should make it much nicer in the hand. And yeah, the textures and plastics I think are overall better. We've got like shiny buttons in Legion Go 1, but we've got a more matte texture here, as well as kind of like a ridged, embossed texture on the sides. So overall nicer finishes than the Legion Go 1, I would say. And then if you're curious, yes, you can swap out the controllers. And that's what it looks like. It's a little small when you do the 1 on the 2. I don't know why you'd want to do that. And it's a little big when you put the 2 on the 1. But if you wanted to upgrade your Legion Go 1, you're happy with it, and you just wanted more comfortable controllers, this is definitely it. This is way more comfortable than the original controller. I can tell just from holding this for like 10 seconds here. Anyways, let's put those back to where they belong. And yeah, just holding this, like, it is heavy. I can feel that weight here as I'm holding it, but it's pretty well balanced. It feels solid, and these curves feel so much nicer than the Legion Go 1. In fact, the texture is even kind of like, this is a harder plastic. It doesn't have that soft touch. It's a bigger grip on the Legion Go S, but the Legion Go 2 might be almost as comfortable. It's a little heavier, but they really did do a lot better with the grip design on the Legion Go 2. So that's it. So let's go ahead and just power up this bad boy, and we'll probably need to do like 7 hours of Windows updates, but we'll see where we're at. Okay, so probably gonna have to stop recording and come back because it'll probably want to do a bunch of Windows updates, but you know, this is the Windows handheld experience. If you go with SteamOS, of course, it is a much smoother and quicker experience. There's limitations to SteamOS. I'll let you guys fight in the comments about whether SteamOS or Windows is better, because that's what you always do. But yeah, I don't know. Windows does have more options, more bloat, trade-offs, people. But anyways, let's get connected up here.
One eternity later.
Okay, I'm back. That did not take 2 hours. It was a bit of an exaggeration. It's been about 30 minutes. It took about 20 minutes to do the updates, though I do have pretty fast internet. And then another 10 minutes of me clicking around to get logged in and stuff like that. So here we are, we're presented with the device logged in. I'm just gonna do a couple things, removing some crap that I don't want. Mostly just OneDrive because I really don't like it. It's also silly that you get stuff like Teams pre-installed on your handheld device. You know, I know they've got the Xbox full screen experience coming to handhelds. It's already on the Xbox Ally series. But yeah, I would just like to see some more de-bloating for handhelds instead of shoving Microsoft down our throat. I'm just gonna go ahead and uninstall a few things here, and then let's hop into Legion Space, see if there's more updates that we need to do, and let's start messing around with the device. All right, let's go ahead and fire up Legion Space. Should be it's top left by default. If it's installed and working, it might have to install the first time. No, I don't want to give you access to my location. How many times do I have to tell Windows that I don't want to report where I am to it? You don't have to worry about this stuff with the SteamOS, or Bazite, or most Linux. Microsoft, I don't want you to know where I am. So yes, as predicted, we do have more updates here. We are downloading the latest Legion Space. It's got some sort of stub pre-installed, but not the full experience. I don't know. I guess they don't ship with the full thing to make sure you're updated, but yeah, don't try to set this up somewhere with no internet. You might not be able to play anything. It's about 450 megabyte update. It's only downloading at like 3 megabytes a second, and my internet is like 60 times faster than that, so just Lenovo's servers are not being lightning speed right now. Oops, forgot to turn my purple light on. What the heck? I think we've been going on for like 2 or 3 minutes now of Legion Space installing. Oh, now we got a controller firmware update. I really don't understand why OEMs can't like preload this stuff better. I mean, yeah, you might need to update to the latest version, but why are they completely unusable out of the box? It's not a great setup experience. And this is nothing new. We went through this on the Ally, the original Legion Go, pretty much every other PC handheld known to man. Actually, it's almost better on the third-party ones like INEO or GPD or OneX Player, because I think they preload their software like ready to go. You can update it, but drivers are preloaded in the Windows image. I really wish mainline manufacturers could take a page out of that book so that we don't have to wait for an hour to play with our toys. We are now almost 45 minutes since Windows Update started. I'm still not to the point where I can play a game yet. If this was Steam, I'd already have downloaded and played a couple games by now. Again, Windows fanboys, don't get mad. Just saying, Windows could do better. Okay, we're finally into Legion Space. So yeah, first up, we've got a bunch of ads. You know, gotta love that that's what you look at when you boot up your $1,400 device. You can see profile here. I don't know if to log into Legion stuff. I'm not gonna do that. Library shows our game platforms, just Xbox installed, haven't done anything yet. We got, I don't know, information about our fan, CPU, GPU, nothing new here. I mean, this is Legion Space that we've know and love? No, mostly hate. Okay, hate's a strong word, but Legion Space does leave a lot to be desired. I think Armory Crate is not great, but probably better. Maybe with full screen Windows experience on here, then we can launch the Xbox app and use that, but you're still gonna need Legion Space for like controller tweaks and stuff like that. Okay, touchpad's on, touchpad vibration. How awful is that? Can you guys hear this? I'm not gonna lie, Lenovo still can't figure out trackpad haptics. It is much better on the Steam Deck. Nobody has ever touched the haptics of the Steam Deck trackpads, in my personal opinion, so far. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, not a whole lot to do here. Let's actually hop out of the main interface and get into our quick settings here, which is where we're gonna be most of the time. Hello? Legion Space, quick settings. See, this is one of the problems with Legion Space that I've discovered on every Legion Go on Windows that I've ever owned. Just the overlay randomly decides when it wants to open up or not, and sometimes take a while. Not the best experience, but again, this isn't really new information with the Legion Go 2, just is what it is. Okay, we got our modes: quiet, balance, performance, custom. If we go custom here, we can go all the way up to 35 watts, and then all the way down to 5 watts. We'll test more of that when I get into an in-depth review video later. But today I just wanted to give my initial impressions. So yeah, there's the software, it's fine. You know, what does the fan sound like while we're here? Full speed. It's definitely audible. In fact, quite loud when it ramps up all the way. But I will say it's not whiny like the Legion Go 1 was. Ooh, it's like a summer breeze on my face right now. It's not too whiny, it is pretty loud, and we probably won't hear it at this speed all the time. Let's put this back on the smart setting. And yeah, you don't really hear it now. So let's leave it on performance. So let's go ahead and get something installed, maybe. Let's take a look at the screen. Let's listen to some audio tests and hold it for a little bit, and then kind of wrap up my initial impressions for today. I plan on doing a ton of videos this year for Legion Go 2. In fact, it's going to be one of the highlights of my channel. Hopefully, as long as I like it and keep it. You know, keep in mind that I do have all of the Legion Go's, and I've been daily driving the Legion Go S for a couple months now. This is the Z1E SteamOS version, and I really love this. I love the SteamOS and its simplicity. In fact, I may end up dual booting like Bazite or something like that on here. But, you know, of course, we get just the beauty that is SteamOS. It's super simple, super great to use. And this is a very comfortable handheld, but I think this is going to be pretty comfortable too. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know how many times I've watched this OLED test video at this point, but let's zoom in. This can also serve as a de facto audio test. So yeah, initial thoughts there, it looks great. Obviously you saw in the dark, infinite contrast with OLED. I don't know, on my monitor here it looks like there's a bit of a grid pattern. You don't see that in real life. It's something to do with the way the camera's filming this. Or maybe that's not going to show on screen at all when I go in to edit this. But yeah, screen looks glorious so far. I mean, I can't really complain. It's OLED. What else are you going to say? I mean, that's really why I wanted this so much over the Legion Go S. I don't really care that much about that 10%, 15% performance bump that we're probably going to see, but big OLED screen. It's 0.8 inches bigger. It's got VRR just like the Go 2. It's native landscape and punchy colors. So, I mean, what else could you ask for in a screen? I will say now, some people are upset about the downgrade from the 1600p to the 1200p between Legion Go 1 and 2. And at 8.8 inches, 1200p is starting to get on the border of less than perfect pixel density, but it's not as bad as the Steam Deck OLED. I don't love the Steam Deck OLED screen. Like the colors and vibrancy are great on the Deck OLED, but the resolution is a little low and you can almost kind of see the grid line between the pixels because it's such a low density. I don't really have that issue with the Legion Go screen here. I think that overall it's pretty much fine. If we kind of get in close here, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty good, and we'll do more on the in-depth video, but you know, looking at it close up here, I can tell that it's slightly lower resolution, but at a normal hand-holding distance, I don't think I'd notice it. So now one concern people have with the Legion Go is in the past they've been pretty slow to ship drivers and they're not using off-the-shelf AMD drivers, so only time will tell if they are as slow at getting the driver updates on the Legion Go 2 as they were on the Legion Go 1. One might hope that, I don't know, I think they said the portrait display made it take longer to do their drivers, which I personally think is kind of hogwash. With this native landscape display, maybe they'll adopt AMD's drivers and do their tweaks quicker. Remains to be seen. Hopefully they stay on top of updates. I mean, at the end of the day, if the device works and plays the games, it's not a big deal, but it does suck if a new game comes out with an issue that needs a driver update. AMD pushes the update, but then Lenovo takes months to do their update. So hopefully that's not the case with the Legion Go 2, but something to keep in mind and something I won't be able to report on until, a couple months at least into owning this device. But yeah, something to keep in mind. So anyways, it is updated now. So let's hop back in and let's finally load up and play a sneaking game on this thing. I'm gonna play a recent favorite of mine, which is Mega Bonk. If you're not familiar, it's kind of a roguelite Vampire Survivors clone, but in 3D. It's Vampire Survivors in 3D. It's basically what it is. All right, so we do get the variable refresh rate here, which can help with the smoothness when we are playing a game that's not at peak. I'm on silent mode, so it looks like we've got 73 frames per second, and it says we've got almost 5 hours of battery life remaining. We do have that larger 70-something watt-hour battery in here. So, compared to Legion Go 1, that's a nice upgrade. Oh, try not to die. Oh, okay, died while I was talking here. But yeah, it feels pretty comfortable, I would say. So if you want to see me produce more content for the Legion Go 2, I am going to do comprehensive benchmark suites with various other devices, go into nitty-gritty details testing this device, and kind of after some more days actually playing it, I'll have some better thoughts on how it feels, whether it's worth it, whether I feel buyer's remorse at spending, I don't know, $1,400-$1,500 after taxes on this thing. Who knows if that's worth it. The Legion Go S is like, I paid half the price for that one. Actually less than half the price, and it's still an awesome device. So, we'll see if it's worth it. But if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and help me out. That way you'll know when I release those extra videos, and stay tuned for more Legion Go 2 and other handheld gaming device content on the channel. Like the video if you liked it. Yeah, and that's really all I got to say today. Initial impressions are good. I'm not gonna really justify the price that I spent on this right now or say whether it was worth that much money. I'm just kind of not thinking about money. I'm just thinking, how does the device feel? How do I enjoy it before I even kind of start to weigh that against the price? And I will say that there are some nice upgrades here. It feels better in the hands. The plastic is better. It doesn't feel super heavy. Time will tell on that one. But overall, it does feel much nicer than the Legion Go 1. And that's not even counting the screen. And then we've got the screen upgrade. We've got the audio upgrade. So there are some notable things that are going to be better about the Legion Go 2 than Legion Go 1. Yeah, I need more time with this. I like it. I'm not mad about buying it. We'll see how it sticks in a few weeks. I'll be back with more videos soon.